everybody. Welcome to the final podcast of this year. This one is probably going to be shorter than usual. Obviously, I had to start an earlier hour at the time of playing this one because Key's got her streamus going on. So we'll try to get through this one pretty quick. So on the left, which of course the roster is always bound to change because some people can go. We have DuskFlare.
Hi.
We have FlitterKriz.
Flitter?
I'm guessing she's AFK. We have Science Steel. Oh, there you are.
Hello?
We have Science...
Is my mic weird again? Yes, it's wrong mic, of course. Meh.
Alright.
Sorry.
So finally at the bottom, well, there's two at the bottom. We have Science Steel Rail.
Yo.
And Galaxy, aka Sleepy, aka a giant pile of names that she likes to go by.
Hi! Hello!
Oh my lord.
That's a sugar rush.
Oh no, she is high on sugar right now. Very, very, very hyper gremlin.
Oh boy. So, how have things been going so far with you guys?
Well, I'm homesick, so that's why I'm able to be here.
I'm enjoying my day off.
Yeah, enjoy while you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, as I said before, we do have to go pretty fast with some of these topics here. So I'm going to assume that a lot of you haven't seen much of the topics we're going to be going over. In fact, I'm just going to list them down right now. We have two trailer thoughts, one of which is The Bad Guys from DreamWorks. Another is something that we wanted to talk about the other week, but we decided to take our reactions on the Game Awards, but we still are going to talk about it, called Across the Spiderverse. We're also going to be talking about Into the Spiderverse prior to that, and the 200th episode by the Angry Video Game Nerd. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and get started on the first trailer thoughts for The Bad Guys. Galaxy kind of recommended this to me, and it was a bit of a last-minute effort. I saw the trailer sitting around for a while, and I'm just sitting there thinking it looks like another typical DreamWorks movie. But upon watching its trailer, I was pleasantly surprised at what they were going for. I kind of expected there to be, some kind of, your typical DreamWorks sort of parody that throws in a lot of pop culture references and everything. It didn't really go far with that route. It does have a comedic charm to a comedic side to all of it, but the way it's all handled, it seemed pretty natural and not just referencing things like they would always do with things out of Shrek and shit. But also they're aiming for a particular style that's kind of reminiscent of the movie Mitchells vs. the Machines. So, any of you guys, have you seen the trailer yet or no?
I did see the trailer. So it actually kind of reminded me of a really old cartoon I saw. Well, cartoon. Back when the digital stuff was just coming out and it was not as good. Do you guys remember Hoodwinked?
Yep.
Yeah.
So it does remind me of that, the bad guy's not who you think it is. I'm pretty sure that we did see the bad guy in the trailer. I'm not going to say who I suspect it is, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be fairly obvious to people. But yeah, a lot of the shows and movies now are going into the, bad guys aren't actually bad guys. When we were younger, there was a very clear delineation of bad guy versus good guy. These days they're the ones that you're always told are the bad guys are not actually the bad guys, and there's something deeper, or the bad guys don't want to be the bad guys, or you're getting the same feeling here as you are from, in Zootopia, where Nick was forced into this certain lifestyle because that's how the world viewed him.
Yeah.
So it would not shock me if this came off the same sort of idea.
Yeah, no, I immediately had that vibe. I have this, I haven't seen it yet, but I have a feeling that this would be very comparable to the story of Megamind, where
Yes.
After Megamind defeats the Brad Pitt hero character, he's like he's kind of bored and he feels like he like needs to switch his role around or something like that. Unless there's something else. Again,
Wait,
I haven't seen it yet, so I wouldn't know. Go ahead, Dusk.
Sorry, you haven't seen the trailer to this, or you haven't seen Megamind?
I haven't seen Megamind.
We need to watch
Oh, yeah.
Wait, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I kind
that.
of
It's so
okay.
good.
So okay,
Yes.
so
I've not seen it either.
okay, so I will say this. It's kind of it's backtracking back to what I said earlier about that I didn't really look at the trailer until Galaxy shared it with me. Like, okay, what is this about? Because I've seen this around online. I mostly avoid a lot of DreamWorks movies on the count that it always feels like they're doing this just to sell on humor or comedy. And it's the same thing I see over and over to the point where I'm just so sick of it. There have been some major exceptions. How to Train Your Dragon is a gorgeous set of movies that take on its action and everything, and it definitely sticks out amongst the other CG animated DreamWorks movies. There are a couple of others that I can't really think of at the moment. Rise of the Guardians, there was a bit of a following for that.
That was a gorgeous movie.
I haven't seen that one yet either because again, I don't often keep track of a lot of the DreamWorks movies. I'm just like
My dude.
It just looks like your typical DreamWorks pop culture reference comedy shit, and like
So
it can only
you would
go
be
so far. With it.
surprised.
Go ahead.
You would be surprised. A lot of them, like, yeah, they have to put in a few, pop culture references because that's what sells to the younger audience. But things like Megamind, and Rise of the Guardians. Rise of the Guardians, I actually found a little bit preachy by the end, but that is again my own issues. But you would be very surprised. I saw this beautiful review on Megamind by Shafrillis Productions, and he is 100% correct. I'm not going to spoil it because that would actually spoil the movie, but we should definitely sit down and watch both those movies because they are worthwhile.
Oh, absolutely.
They are
Oh, I'm sure
super
they are. I am aware that Rise of the Guardians had its own following because a bunch of girls got they got their panties. God damn! Notification sounds. No, they got their panties wet over Jack Frost.
Yes.
Oofto.
And Santa Claus.
Okay, yeah, Santa Claus, he looks like some kind of badass.
He is.
And the father mentor figure.
Now, in regards to Megamind, I kind of avoided it because I am not a fan of Will Ferrell. I found him always obnoxious in so many movies, including Elf.
Again, fair. There are certain actors I will also avoid, which Ben Stiller is one of those, which a lot of people find him really funny and like more power to them. I don't like his stuff.
I presume Adam Sandler as well.
Yes.
A lot of his recent movies I can agree with, but Happy Gilmore, come on, Happy Gilmore.
Didn't see it.
Oh, okay. Well,
Literally-
we're gonna need to
watch
fix that.
It's
Yeah,
pretty funny.
that's actually why I
Need
like.
it either.
Yeah, that's why I liked Adam Sandler at the time, and his personality. While some people say that he's the same character, I was able to relate to that a lot.
But yeah, it sounds like
Yeah,
there's a bunch of movies we need to watch.
You also
One
need to
thi-
watch The Longest Yard if you haven't seen that either.
The remake is
Nope.
okay. I prefer the original.
Sorry, also, yes,
Uh,
letter, because you were trying to talk.
Yes, Flutter, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. It's just I saw something in the chatty weddy, and for a while people shipped Jack Frozen and Elsa, and I'm just like, Jack
Yes.
is supposed to be like, I don't know, 13, and she's
Yeah, but he's
supposed to
also
be
1,000 years
22.
old. That sort
Yeah,
of
but
thing.
he's still the body of a kid. So it becomes very wrong.
Yeah, there's
it
a
could
lot
have
of
been
issues.
worse. Yeah, no, but it could have been worse. There's a lot of things, but one of them is Elsa and Spider-Man.
That's a weird
How did
mix.
that come?
Which
How did that
Spider-Man?
come by?
I know what she's talking about. It's creepy. Let's not go over there. So back to the
Okay.
bad guys.
Okay. I'm gonna change the subject back. So that golden. The thing
Yeah.
I want to say about the bad guys is that I don't know why, but I am so happy that the spider is voiced by Sisu's voice actor because she sounds amazing.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm also looking forward to the movie now.
I might check the movie out. Something else. I think a part of the reason why this was brought to me is because I've noticed that now DreamWorks, I think they're dipping their toes into, working with something different in terms of animation styles and such. And by that I mean like they're combining different like forms. So there's CGI, and there's a combination with some 2D animation. Like when you see the cars revving off, you see this smoke behind them. That's supposedly hand drawn or something like that.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is cool, and I'm starting to notice that other companies are following the trend of combining different animation styles and not just art styles, which I'm cool with. But I also fear that they're going to run into another dead end, because up until the whole style, the different animation style combinations, CG was just mostly relied on just how heavily detailed it is, or how there was, like, you could see there was a lot of texture involved and stuff like that. Eventually I'm just like, what else are they going to do? They're just going to continue hitting a dead end. And then this comes in, where are they going to go from there? And I'm not saying anything against this movie. I'm sure this movie's going to be good. In fact, I discovered sometime earlier today, as I was putting together the cards, apparently The Bad Guys is based on a set of novels, I think.
Yes, and they're scholastic, and they're basically elementary school-ish books that we've seen. Basically, Captain Underpants and Big Nate and all that shit.
Captain Underpants.
Probably know where I'm going with this. But, however, with this styling, it's basically like, you're saying that it's a dead end. Well, I feel like it's kind of like it's basically an evolution thing where we go from CG animation to 2D and 3D animation, and it just slowly goes into 2D again, to the point where we would basically have some form of liking to animation and
slow down.
That's very, very hopeful thinking.
It is very hopeful thinking, because I wanted you to see this because I like your videos, and I thought that maybe you would like this one because it has 2D animation in it, and also the fact that we were gonna talk about something else later on in the podcast makes it so exciting to talk about this particular movie, because
Sleepy,
calm down.
Jeez, I swear she needs to be injected with some Ritalin or something to slow her down.
Just calm down, my dear.
Breathe. Big breath.
I'll say this much. Actually, I think there was a joke from, I think it was the Nostalgia Critic, and yes, I know it's going to turn some heads. There was some kind of video where Doug is he's got like some kind of patch on his neck, and the joke is that it's supposed to keep him calm. Somebody decides to rip it off, and he goes completely berserk in excitement.
That's Sleepy.
Yeah, that's the analogy I'm going for here.
Mm-hmm. I'm agreeing.
Yeah. So I found out that these were based on a set of books, and this also seemed nothing like. I mean this as just a particular sense of knowledge, nothing against it. Like, oh, okay, so it's another adaptation of a children's book or something like that. And the case in point, Captain Underpants, which I didn't see until I did see that movie, and it definitely had its own style going on with it, and I definitely appreciated the direction for it.
Also, another trivia thing that they are going to do. Apparently, Ghost and Molly McGee, right, Golden?
Yes.
They're going to have the same studio for Nickelodeon in terms of animation for Big Nate. So they're basically going to make another animation adaptation for Big Nate in terms of putting it as like an animation adaptation for everyone to see and be introduced to new fans of Big Nate, even though that's probably not going to be the case in terms of the adult or young adult audiences. But I am so freaking excited for that.
We've noticed.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, Sleepy. Sleepy. Just drink some water and
calm down.
Breathe.
Yeah, breathe.
I am good. I am good.
I swear,
I don't believe you.
I swear, there has to be some kind of. There's like a name of a drug that's supposed to calm somebody down. Maybe Ritalin.
Ketamine.
What science?
Depends what type of calming down they need.
Ketamine.
Ketamine. Okay.
Ketamine. It's a horse tranquilizer.
Yeah, ketamine is dangerous.
Oh, okay then. Never mind.
People do not take ketamine.
Okay.
I will calm down as soon as this podcast ends, but right now I'm not going to. Yes.
Wait, wasn't it Xanax or
Well,
Valium?
Xanax is the other one. That's what you take in order to fall asleep in a plane flight.
Xanax or Valium or Ativan or something like that.
All right then. Okay. Science. Any input you would like to give on the bad guys?
I haven't actually watched the trailer, but I've seen a lot of posts on Twitter.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
main guy, like the wolf, is giving me strong Lupin the Third vibes.
Yeah, there was a little bit of that.
Like, the attitude is very strong Lupin the Third.
Yep.
I think it's funny, though. I mean, I like Hoodwinked. I like that art style, so it might be interesting to watch.
Heck yeah, bruh.
All
If
right.
they go with the same story where you don't know who the bad guy is until the end.
Well, they're doing that a lot these days, these so-called twist villains, which works great on the first viewing, but not so great after the first viewing.
Yeah, it really all depends. It's these guys, they're attempting to do good things, but they continue to wind up doing bad things.
Yeah.
So, not necessarily spoiler territory, but within the trailer, there's a scene where the snake is supposed to take care of a bunch of guinea pigs that are scattered all over the floor. And the next shot, it's outside, and the snake is like, yeah, I took care of him. And as soon as he opens up, he's got a giant belly full, and they're just like, dude, you weren't supposed to eat him. You were supposed to save him.
Yeah.
It's like there was an
I'm a
attempt, but
snake,
it
what do you want?
backfired. Yeah.
There was an attempt. At least he got the energy.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure the bad guys will be a fun movie. One can only hope. I have a feeling this is going to be released around the same time Turning Red comes out.
Turning
I
red?
think so, yeah.
The Pixar movie where that kid is able to she transforms
Oh,
into a panda.
yes. Yeah, the giant panda. Oh, I'm looking forward to that. That looks like that could be so cute.
It can
Yes,
be.
it is.
I like that a lot of studios are going after, for lack of a better term, more like different types of cultures and introducing people to different types of culture. So I really hope they are doing that with this the same way that they did with Coco
Okay.
in Disney.
Yep.
Because Coco was a great introduction, because I didn't know a lot about South American culture and Mexican culture, and I'm fascinated. It's great. I love
Okay.
seeing all the like alebrijes and stuff like that.
All right. So at this point, any final word about this topic before we move on to the next?
Looking forward to it. I really hope that the spider is like the tech one. Like that would be adorable because she's on the web, quote unquote.
I think
I know-
I think that's already been confirmed in the trailer.
Really? Oh, I love that. I'm so happy. I know it's a huge pun and it's based off a pun, but I'm there for it.
Yes,
So.
I love that.
Well, at the
yeah.
very least, okay, aside from her character's, species as a pun, I hope that she has, like, a fun, like, quirky personality that people can connect with. No pun intended.
Uh-huh.
Unintended.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next topic. So this one, it's probably going to be short. This is the Angry Video Game Nerd episode 200. It's still, at the time of this podcast, there's still a part 3 that's yet to come out. So some of you, apparently FlitterKriz has never heard of the Angry Video Game Nerd. Some of you don't haven't watched much of AVGN, not a fan of it, and that's fine. It's very vulgar, filled with a lot of foul language, very very iconic for that. Dropping the F-bomb every single time. But I've grown to really appreciate James as a filmmaker, a video producer, and just take on anything out there. Apparently, so Flitter, to give an insight on what the Angry Video Game Nerd is, apparently he's an online reviewer or critic who takes on notorious video games, and it kind of turned into a big thing because it started out with him talking about one NES game, and then another NES game, and another one, and they had 3 different approaches. One was just all gameplay, another one was him in person. And a third one was a combination of the bunch. But because of how big of a following he had, he continued making these episodes. And this was like back in the early 2000s when making web videos was like it was a giant privilege that you would have to get. Nowadays, everybody can just produce anything. But he had this big following, and he stuck with his roots of just taking on, quote-unquote notorious games. So, for the past several years, he's been doing this. He's got this big following. He had some downfalls every once in a while. So, in this 200th episode, he's taken on a particular company that he's had a bit of a grudge on ever since the series started, called LJN, otherwise known as the Puke Rainbow and such. So, not necessarily a video game company, but it is a publishing company, where they basically have smaller video game producing companies producing very notorious games that were based off of any kind of movies or any kind of popular franchises. Like they make a game about X-Men, or they made a game about, and I'm trying to like give examples on the spot. There's a Nightmare on Elm Street, Karate Kid, Jaws, X-Men, but familiar franchises that they did a very poor job in translating. And this was like at the time during the NES era, where games were like there are times games have to be difficult in order to add replay value and build in a challenge to get the player money's worth. Like if it's too easy, they would get bored with it after a while. So it was a bit of a roll of the dice at the time. LJN was notoriously sloppy with their games, and it would drive the nerd crazy. So that's what's going on in this 200th episode. He's basically taken on the remaining titles of the mini LJN titles, and I say that very repeatedly. Now, again, I know that not all of you are too much into the Angry Video Game Nerd, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But this is kind of a huge milestone, having him reach 200 episodes. Like, I kind of predicted he would reach that far, but it feels like it happened so soon. So,
I mean,
go ahead, Sleepy.
in a way, it felt like, okay, so I've heard about Angry Video Game Nerd for like a little bit. I didn't get much into it in terms of like, oh my gosh, I'm such a big fan, like GoldenFox is.
Mm-hmm.
However, with how long he has been in this whole entire shtick, you would think that he would be at episode 500 or 1,000 by now.
Okay, so I would agree with you, but he was also upscaling the production value. And I'm saying that in air quotes because, yes, you're going to get a lot of green screen sort of effects with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and like he would try to work around the different green screen effects to add on something hilarious, depending on what it is that he's making. Like I'm not going to talk too much about his production methods and such, because that's like a whole different can of worms. Well, by that I mean like that's a whole different scroll of like information that if I were to pilot here, we would be here forever,
Yeah.
But like anybody like, is there anybody here who has watched The Nerd? Like, I know that Flitter hasn't watched it. And I know that Dusk is not a fan of it. Steel Rail, any insight?
I mean, I saw him one time when he was doing Majora's Mask, and that was pretty funny.
Oh, that one was amazing. Go ahead.
That was great when he puts on the Majora's Mask and everything, and he talks about how great the game is, but how it also has a couple of flaws. He doesn't exactly praise games to an nth degree. He's legitimate because he also points out their flaws alongside their good points.
Yeah,
the games like the old NES games, he craps all over.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, a lot. Like some could argue that some NES games will show their age compared to like games nowadays. But there's also like, I'm not going to say that they're a product of their time. I think I do believe there are some NES games that age better than people give it credit for. Case in point, the original DuckTales while it does have its flaws, I still love playing the hell out of that game. The Mario Brother games, yes, even the originals. I mean, they're still remade with the game engine and every same game, well, type of game engine, but with updated graphics and such. And I'm not gonna go too far on the deep end of trying to find any, quote unquote good NES games, because again, this was an era where it's a matter of whether the games are worth it or not, because they have to add replay value and they have to upscale the difficulty due to the limitations that the cartridge can hold and carry. So there's bound to be some any kind of bullshit that happens in a game. Same thing when it comes to Super NES games. Except Super NES games are much more capable of making good games and adding replay value, despite how simple some of them can be. But yeah, the Majora's Mask one, he definitely, that one definitely knocks a ball out of the park. That's easily one of my favorite episodes. I'm not a big fan of Majora's Mask. I've already ranted about it before, but hearing the nerd take on it in the sense of, because that's the other thing about the nerd. It's not just him taking on games that are quote unquote shit. I mean, it's in the original, the opening lyrics. It's going to take you back to the past to play the shitty games that suck ass. But some games that he takes on are not really shitty. It definitely has a bit of a variety in terms of, what kind of age it shows and such.
It's a game basically where he says, the game's good, but you also have to realize some of the flaws of it.
Yeah.
It sounds like he's taking on games but taking off the nostalgia glasses.
Yeah. And that's actually...
Anybody who makes their own handmade Majora's Mask to wear into the stream has a bit of nostalgia glass already on.
Yeah.
No, you don't say.
I see the the Majora Mask everywhere now. Along with, in terms of Zelda products, there's the obvious Triforce and there's everything else.
Yeah, but also, I'm sorry, but the Triforce I understand, or the Ocarina of Time, but why would you wear the mask? If you were actually wearing the mask, you would be in trouble. So why?
I think a part of that, it's just the design that that's reminiscent of the game itself, and not what's it like to put on the mask?
Yeah, sorry, it's just my brain goes to the logic of the item and not just the item itself. So it's
it would be the same thing as Harry Potter fans who wear, Death Eater masks. It's something that is very clearly from this franchise. Whether it's from the good guys or the bad guys.
I'll send it to him.
Yeah. Sorry for interrupting.
No, you're good. Key was asking me about something real quick, so...
Hi, Key.
Hi.
Hi, Key.
Everybody says hi. Yeah, we're talking about the recent Angry Video Game Nerd, the 200th episode. No, you're good. No, trying to remember. I'm going to assume that some of you don't have much to say after that. But basically, the LGN episodes. Okay, so like I said, there's still yet to be a part 3 at the time of this podcast. As soon as this is up next week on my channel, there's already going to be a part 3. But he's taken on the adaptations, the movie games, and the other of which he does sport games like baseball, football, all that shit. And again, they're just frustrating to play through. I will say that there are some games off of LJN that are worth playing, but they're like diamonds in the rough. One of which is called Maximum Carnage, another of which I could argue is somewhat of a good game, True Lies, based off of the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. Yeah. And basically, I've pretty much ran out of room on what to say here. But I felt like I needed to talk about this because aside from me being a fan of the nerd, it's definitely a milestone. I normally don't go over, all of his episodes. I already did like the first 100 episodes in the Jello Apocalypse sort of marathon. But chances are I'll probably have to do the next 100 episodes from 101 to 200. Since like
more power to him, right?
Yeah, like some people are expecting that. Funny enough, like I originally was going to do that, but then I saw that I upset some people when I said things like I was not a fan of the Superman 64 review of his because the jokes came off too repetitive and it felt like it was unfinished.
That's fair.
But there was a part 2 of that apparently. Like it happened during the next 100 episodes, and I was like, oh shit. And it even went as far as like bringing some interesting insight behind the game. And that's the things I like about, whenever I see these episodes of The Nerd. It's not just this game is ass, this game is ass. Like that's kind of the standard. And it's at that point it's like, okay, I think we're expecting a little bit more instead of just repeating the same joke, there's only so many times you can pull the rabbit out of the hat,
Mm-hmm.
Professionals have standards.
Yeah. So yeah, I did upset some people with, some opinions that I have. But
Look, no one can have everyone's, I love all your opinions. That would be insane. You're allowed to upset people because it's your opinion and you are allowed to have your opinion.
People are going to be really upset when I review a new generation.
Who cares? It's your opinion.
Well,
Yeah.
it's also in the sense of the things that I don't agree with Josh on, especially one particular claim that even Little Shy FIM stated that yes,
And that's fair.
yeah, and like Sunny says that Sunny gets alicorned by stealing, thieving, and sabotaging, even though that's only the first half of the film and that was a backfire on her end. That's anything but the result.
Wait. When did Sunny steal things?
She and Zip planned on taking the crown.
Yeah.
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 But
Yeah, okay. I was just like, she didn't steal anything in the start of the movie.
no, she committed vandalism and sabotage, and I'm just like, okay.
Again, if you think about it from like if you see people doing that sort of stuff for like against slavery and stuff, that is seen as a good thing. But when they do it for other reasons, it's seen as vandalism and other bad stuff. So I'm wondering, like,
History is
Is
written
it
from the
really?
perspective
Yeah.
of the winners.
Basically,
Well, is it
they
really-
basically said that, oh yeah, Sonny's teaching kids that to help save the world, you have to steal and commit vandalism and sabotage. And I'm like, no, that's not
That's not what that means.
Yeah.
No.
Like Little Shy Fam saying that, oh yeah, Sonny got wings and a horn by the result of stealing, vandalism, and spreading fake news wherever she goes, which the quote-unquote fake news is telling everybody there is magic in the same universe. Something Friendship is Magic had, and you're completely dismissing that. And along with all those acts that she did, again, those were backfires. When she sabotaged that Cancel Logic presentation, she got humiliated. When she stole that crown from the Queen, and yes, she won the crystal at Bridalwood. Even though the guy's like, oh, you tricked me. It's like, it doesn't matter, dude. She beat you fair and square.
Yeah, and he was the one tricking her because they in the beginning agreed to use the cube, not to do the dancing show that he apparently is superior in.
Yeah, and so point is, after she had those two, the crystals didn't work. So afterwards, they were returned. If it did work, then maybe I would have agreed with the other ones. The other two, and agree with the complaint.
I'll admit,
And as far as we know,
got alicornized way too early.
That's something I can agree with.
I think that happened. Twilight took 3 seasons of hard knocks to get that, where she got it in 2 hours.
I gotta say that they never intended to keep the crystals. They just wanted to put them together so the magic would come back. But again, like the way she got alicorned, about to say, it's more that I think she earned it because she was the driving force that made quote unquote the leaders of the different races band together and understand that they needed to work together. and that's why she became a symbol of harmony, aka an alicorn. But she didn't, as far as we have seen from the merchandise, she doesn't have the horn and the wings.
I also, Dr. Wolf posted a video recently that the creators are not planning on having the alicorn features as a permanent feature, which I'm fine with. Yeah,
I'm
like
totally
so.
fine with that.
I'm-
I would have been fine with both, actually, because in my eyes, yes, she deserved it. It might have been a bit rushed because, it was one movie, but still, I don't see anything wrong with it.
I think they wanted to get them those things that Friendship is Magic had out of the way first, and then open up to a whole different challenge or something like that. Which,
yeah, that's true.
Like, there are better ways of handling it. Wow, we went off of the deep end. Like, instead of talking about it at the end. No, like I'm very, very passionate about how I feel about a new generation. Like, I know it's not great. It's like a 7 out of 10. But some people complain about it to the point where, like, not only do they not like the movie, but some said they're not only refusing to give the movie a chance, but they're not going to give G5 a chance. And it seems like a backfire that, they're just going to leave the fandom just out of one movie, which I'm like, isn't that
just spite?
Yeah, that is. It's just
that's like, I can't have my. That's like, I'm not playing this game anymore. I'm going home with my ball, and you can't play anymore. Just like, it's such a childish reaction that you're not even giving it a chance. You don't have to like it. Like, okay, I'm not an '80s child, but I was introduced to My Little Pony from G1. And I watched those G1 movies over and over again. Did I love Return of Katrina? No. Does that mean I hated G1? No.
I can't say much about G1, but I will say at the very least the '86 movie, the one with the Schmooze. Yeah, I effing hate that movie with a passion.
Aww.
No, it's because of Lickety Split. It's like she is the worst.
She is a brat.
She is the worst protagonist, and she's so badly written. And like, yes. I think some people can already tell, like, already am aware from experience. Because I had to watch this at one of the previous cons before attending, because there was a panel that I had to go to talk about it. And as I was watching it in the hotel room, I was screaming so loud. Everybody said, "Dude, we heard you, man. Are you okay?"
Oh my lord!
But I gotta say that if you don't even watch the movie, how can you have a proper opinion on it?
Exactly. Give things a chance. Like, you don't have to like something. Like, people like okay. So here's a big example. People absolutely love. Oh God, what was it called? Oh,
what was what called?
Just yeah. They were all watching something and everyone loved it, and I'm just like, eh. Game of Thrones.
Ah, okay.
Everyone loved it. Everyone was like, "How have you not seen this? This is totally your thing." And I'm like, okay, I'm not just gonna hate it because I'm gonna hate it. So like, I watched a season and a half of it, and then I gave up. Like, you have to give things a chance, even if you know that you're not gonna like it.
Until like, season it's the same... 8 took a flying pigeon dump on your head.
And that's when I started laughing at all the fans. But yes.
Yeah, so if people want to leave the fandom without even seeing the movie, then okay, you do you.
Door's right there. Don't let it hit you on the way out.
That's just so sad. And besides, if you don't like the ending to something, or you don't like the beginning, that is what fanfiction is for. There is a lot of it out there in this particular fandom.
Yes, Allah. We even made our own website.
Yeah, I will admit that Josh did make a few good points that, the message was ham-fisted, and I'm not going to deny that. Yeah. Pip was underplayed or underused.
Very much so.
Yeah, like... But he also was criticizing the little contributions that she had. Like, she guided everybody out of Zephyrhides. Well, Zip could have done the same thing. But also, like, how much does Pip know about the place compared to Zip? There's also Pip help. There's also that scene where Pip is helping encouragement to Sunny in that Just Prance game. Like, it would have made just as sense to have Izzy do it. It's like, Is Izzy a choreographer? Is she somebody who knows things about rhythm and music like what Pip does? It's like, that doesn't mean anything. It's like, yeah, it means everything.
Pip is like she is like a cheerleader in the group. Like, she can motivate you, she can get you going.
Yeah.
Sip is more of an intelligent type of jock, kind of, as they have told.
Yeah,
But the thing is, I understand. Sorry, but I understand completely why Pip was able to get them out of town. She's the one who's been on social media. She's the one who needs to know how to get out of town with the sneaky, snooky, snacky. Because in case you need to get away from other other ponies. And I understand also, like, the little contributions she had for me personally, since, sorry to put it out there, but, the therapy thing, it makes very much sense to me, the things she did. Like, she was upset, legally so, but she still prioritized her sister and things that seemed very serious for her sister that usually tries to stay away from people to actually go in and do something so crazy. So she understood from the get-go that, okay, this gotta be hecking important, or else she wouldn't act like this. And then it's like, you're also leaving me hanging. Like, you're usually the one covering my back. What's happening here?
I mean, I also sort of had this, I don't want to call it a headcanon, but I'm wondering if there's a deleted scene where, like, she confesses to her sister that the song she was singing was about her. Because if you listen to the lyrics of the song, it's way more what her sister would think about their current situation than something Pip, who seems very out of it, would think. So, like, that would hurt all the more. Like, this is a song I created for you, and you ran off.
I love that headcanon, because that would fit so much to help her bigger sister feel more comfortable in the environment.
So finishing off what I was saying earlier, it's that it would prefer that other characters would do the same things that she was doing. So it's like, so you'd rather have Pip have less of a contribution to the narrative? Like, what? But
like, didn't he and Ari make like a small skit where they also talked about Sonny's hyperfixation, I would call it.
Okay, I saw that scene. I
would like to see something like that.
Hold on. I would have agreed with that if not for the fact that Sonny was already looking into the Pegasi when she reads Zephyr Heights. And now that she's focused on the crystals, it doesn't make any sense to just backtrack to that. Not to mention, she knows about what happened to Pip. She knows about what happened, to Zip and what happened to Zephyr Heights, and that the mother was arrested. It feels more out of place than anything.
Yeah, that's true. So it should have been something earlier before all of that happened. So I agree on. I
just want to make it clear that when it comes to Josh's review, I'm not a fan of it. He had some points that felt like it was in bad faith, but Little Shy of AM is 10 times worse because he has a bigger following and everything is just surface level nitpicks.
But then again, people nitpick when... Yeah, everybody is allowed to their own opinion, but I think people nitpick when things are already good or decent, and that's when they end up with nitpicking, because that's the only thing they can, because things are already pretty good. At least that's how I see it.
All right, so I do apologize for going off the deep end for the AVGN. Yeah, no, we really derailed here. So anybody who hasn't seen the Angry Video Game Nerd episode yet, I have a link to the description box on YouTube. And anybody who has yet to see it, I definitely recommend you check it out. You would have to have some prior knowledge of AVGN in order to get into it. Like, he does do a quick recap on a lot of things to kind of stand on its own. So it definitely has more of a personal note and not something on a big note, kind of like with the Rob episode, which I still think that's his absolute best. So I think it's time we move on to something much, much more exciting and not, just, arguing everything. Sleepy? I think it's time you let it all out. We're here to talk about Spider-Man.
Okay. Hold on. Let me see if I can
unleash the beast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Into the Spider-Verse. Go ahead.
Into the Spider-Verse. Okay. First off, let me make this clear. Okay, hold on.
Take a glass of water. Take a sip of water before you start.
I just drank down a huge bottle of Gatorade Zero. Anyway,
that works.
Here's the thing. Spider-Verse is... I'm going to say more about the first movie later on, but the thing about this particular trailer that's so exciting is the animation. Oh my god. You know what's also exciting? The fact that this is a part 1 out of 2 movies, bitch. 2 movies of Into the Spider-Verse. And for me, because I am may or may not be
Spider-Man
month
trash.
biased. You want to know when this is releasing?
We're talking about Into the Spider-Verse, not Across the Spider-Verse.
Okay, we're gonna talk about Into the Spider-Verse. Okay, this movie is so good. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the animation is so good to the point where I actually own a physical copy of the art book. Hold on, let me grab shit.
A very excited Sleepy. Please do hold.
All right,
Oh my
I
God.
have the entirety book over here, and I paid for it on my own birthday. Not to mention, when was this movie released? Hold on, let me see if I can
18.
find some. Okay, hold on. Where's my tablet pen? Wait, where's my tablet pen? Hold on. Wait.
Were you sitting on a blanket, Sleepy?
Okay.
Please
No,
do. Thank you
okay,
for your
I'm gonna use my
patience. We will
my-
wait for Sleepy.
Okay.
It was released 2018.
Yeah,
Yes,
the,
2000 was
Into
it
the
like 2018 or something?
it was released in December of 2018. Yes.
Okay, 2018. What date?
3 years ago.
Okay, hang on a second. I'll have to look it up.
Oh, I have it. I have it right here. So 2 days ago, it is the 3 years. 3-year anniversary of one of my favorite movies of all freaking time, besides Tangled and maybe Space Jam 2 and maybe a lot of things. But still, I am so happy when I first saw this, because when I first saw this in the trailer, I was in awe. The colors, the usage of like animation styles, like it's not just one particular art style, it's just several. It's like this mixed media of greatness. You have Porky Pig, who looks so 2D, even though he's kind of 3D. But
Voiced by John Mulaney, no less.
and he's voiced by John Mulaney, who is one of the greatest comedians of all time. Greatest comedians of all time in terms of like modern and shit. Oh my gosh. Okay. Penny Parker was originally going to be this like very edgy looking character, but they made her out to be this like cute generic anime girl. And the Penny Parker thing was an original idea by one of the members of was it My Chemical Romance or something? Or was it Marilyn Manson? I do not know. But all I know is that one punk person was really into Evangelion to the point where they wanted to do their own Spider-Man. So they basically made Penny Parker, which is kind of cool. Also, what I really love in terms of art direction is, hold on, let me see if I can grab this little Bible here. Hold on.
Oh my lord.
Like the usage of 2 frames per second in terms of just moving along with the frames and stuff. And the character designs are so good. Like the RGB effects and especially What's Up Danger is amazing. Like that's one of the most iconic scenes of all time. Like actually, this is one of my favorite Spider movies of all time. Y'all can keep whatever the heck like Tom Holland is in. I can have my cute little Into the Spider-Verse here, because this is actually the movie that'll get me actually interested in Spider-Verse, no doubt. And one of the reasons why I said that is that one of the first horror movies, which is not really a horror movie, but let's go with it because childhood trauma, is Spider-Man. So this whole Spider-Verse thing is me facing my fears, even though that's not really a fear of mine. It's just a childhood thing, but whatever.
Well, they said it best. It's a leap of faith.
It is a leap of faith, because you see how like there's symbolism, and each time into the movie leading up to that moment is just like a stepping stone of what he could have been as a person and as the Spider-Man he is. and the animation along with like the glass where he just like breaks out of it and he just falls into it, and then there's like this like is it vertical, horizontal? No, horizontal is like
What's that hissing noise?
width.
I hear it too.
Horizontal is the height. Yeah,
Hold on.
horizontal. So horizontal, like
Sleepy.
upside down frame is good.
She is going off. Sleepy.
Yes.
Is there something wrong with your mic, or no? Because it's not lighting up now.
Is there something wrong?
I don't know.
I hear it too. Like, where the hell is it
I'm hearing
coming
this
from?
hissing noise, like horror hissing noise, which is not ideal. Oh, there it is.
It's gone.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I?
Yes.
Yes. Sorry. Continue.
Yeah, continue. You continue pounding your desk.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Rant
so,
away.
The great thing about this particular scene is not only the symbolism of how far he has come as a person and not how far he has come as a student and Spider-Man, and even though this is his first time being Spider-Man, he's still new to this idea of becoming Spider-Man. It brings into this iconic moment where he's just free and confident and willing to just let it loose. Like, no care in the world. All that matters is that he wants to either be confident with himself or just do all of this for his parents. And that is such a really good story. Like, especially with how Spider-Gwen is in terms of character, she is such a cool character. Wasn't Arnold Schwarzenegger Spider-Noir, or is that a different person?
That is not Arnold Schwarzenegger.
What the hell?
Wait, which one is?
Did we suddenly run into the Terminator? What the hell?
No,
Wait, what
that's,
actor was that? I'm confused those two by a lot.
That is
Hold
Nicolas
on.
Cage.
Nicolas Cage,
There
yeah.
you go, Nicolas Cage.
Not the same at all.
That is the Cage man. That is Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Yes.
Heck yeah.
Which is
So,
hilarious because Ghost
I
Rider is
love
also
the
Spider-Man villain.
black and white effects when it comes to Spider Noir. Like, again, it literally
Where's
gives
the
the
wind
name
coming
of
from?
noir into it, and it's cool.
One of my favorite lines of the movie is, "Where's the wind coming from?"
But okay, what's another thing? Oh, the grandma is also very cool. She was actually chill with like
Excuse me,
whatever
whoa.
is happening
What did you
with
call her?
Miles Morales.
No. What did you call her? That is Aunt May.
Aunt May. I just
You will
forgot
show
her name. I'm
respect
so
for Aunt
sorry.
May.
You will show respect for Aunt May. Heck,
She is awesome.
Okay,
Yes.
listen, I am not throwing
like
shade.
hello,
alright?
you're sweetie, sweet little sleepy weepy. You're calling yourself a fan of Spider-Man, and you're confused as Aunt May.
You don't know the ant?
I know the. Okay, listen. I wasn't a big fan of Spider-Man
if
up
I
until
may-
this movie.
If I may,
So
I
give
think
me
this is.
some slack.
Hold on. Time out here. I think this is the result of Sleepy getting so hyper that she has lost track of everything else. She's just like. I mean, obviously she's off the rails. She's just bouncing off of the walls in excitement that, like, Pinkie Pie is going to be like, it was like, what the hell?
Pinkie Pie is gonna be like, "What are you on?"
But yeah, no, just it's so much hyper that she forgot a few things. Like, oh yeah, because this old lady here, because da.
Yeah, because if you saw Spider-Man on Fox Kids growing up, Aunt May was actually old, and Peter Parker was actually grown up.
Yeah.
Okay, so in fairness, I can see why she would confuse Aunt May as an old lady. Honestly, Aunt May looked like she was in her like mid-50s or something like that, maybe earlier.
She is older. They made her a lot older than what she normally is portrayed at. I don't mind that. I actually love this little old, badass grandma sort of style of Aunt May.
Oh, absolutely.
Heck yeah.
I love that she was sitting there with her mug. Took you long enough.
Yeah,
Yes. That was like
that
the
way
icing on the
more.
cake too.
I prefer that way more than in the Marvel Universe Spider-Man. That she's like this, for lack of a better term, a MILF.
MILF?
Yes, don't worry about it, FlitterKriz. If you don't know about it, don't bother.
Okay.
But yeah, they made her into someone very attractive, which is not a problem, but it's just sort of like, does she have a personality? And the answer is no, not really. And like, I way prefer like this older woman who has like all personality. Like when the bad guys come in and she's like, "Can we not do this where the good China is?" That line just cracks me up.
All right, so I think it's fair that we get a share of our insight with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes.
This is easily one of my favorite movies of all time. Like, I was hoping that because so when I saw the trailer for it when the year started, because like the trailer for Into the Spider-Verse was around since the beginning of the year, so I'm like, we had to wait all year to see this movie. Like, just one trailer alone, and we're like in awe of wonder. I was worried that this movie was just going to be out over the sake of just a style over substance or something like that. And that it would just like, it would have trouble in competition with any other movies that would be coming out. It's surprisingly, that's what surprised me afterwards, because I saw that people loved it. Riley and I went to go see it in theaters. This was at a time when he was roommating with us. And we saw it together, and it was one of the best experiences. Like, we would laugh at the moments. We laughed at the moments with, what's his name? Spider-Pig?
Spider-Pig? Yeah.
Spider-Pig.
Spider-Pig.
Peter Porker?
Peter Porker.
Peter
Just call
Porker,
him Peter Porker.
Yeah, and like, we were seeing all these, like, Looney Tune effects, and Riley and I were just laughing at the final act. But also...
You got a problem with cartoons?
No. No, we were laughing at that.
No, just a quote.
That was a line, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so obviously, like, the animation style, like, we're already used to it. One of the big plot points that I actually had a very big connection with was Peter B. Parker, in that, I'm, like, doing a few things at once. Yeah, sending you the 10, honey. There we go. So anyway, yeah, Peter B. Parker, where his side of the story is his own type of, having to take a leap of faith. Like, obviously, we're learning that Miles Morales is discovering his abilities and everything, and how he's taken the approach of, what his leap of faith is. But with Peter, it's that he used to have Mary J. and used to be married, but they divorced because he was afraid of having kids. It has a very, very adult topic about making changes in your life. And I like that they had that kind of note to relate to. I think he was there to relate to older viewers and not just a mentor for Miles Morales. Like, he's got his own arc. And I think that represents a bit of an interesting role model that if you don't step out of your comfort zone and move on with your life, you're probably going to lose some things. Kind of like how he lost Mary J. and pretty much everything else, including his marriage. So I think that's a deep subject that they managed to tackle on. As far as, like, other characters are concerned with whatever... Because I could be missing something here. I mean, they're kind of minor main characters, but I really like what how Peter B. Parker was written.
100% fair.
Yeah. So with that in mind, this is definitely one of my favorite movies out there, on the sheer fact that they did more than just, style over substance. And this was the movie that really, like, pushed the boundaries of having me appreciate and respect the hell out of Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who I think they were the directors of this movie. They and the sequel that is in the works that's yet to be out, they're the writers, they're not the directors.
It looks really good, the part 1 that's coming out.
Yes, it is. We'll get to that in a bit.
Okay.
But for where this is going, this movie made me respect them officially. And it's also the reason why I still love the Mitchells versus the Machines, because there's a lot of style going on with it, but there's a deep message the more you watch it that you're able to find. So it feels very rewarding on top of enjoying the style that they're going for, So still, I still think that Into the Spider-Verse is their best work. under the names of Chris. Calm down there, Sleepy. Take your Ritalin.
Oh my lord.
RGB effects, the onomatopoeias, the everything.
Okay,
the background,
okay.
Calm
Okay.
down. Let someone else talk, Gary.
Come on, Sleepy. You had your turn.
I know, but I'm sorry. I just had to.
I swear, I had to put you in a straitjacket. But yes, it's still their best because it had some very deep topics on top of, this gorgeous style that they're going for. With the slower frame rate, it would look, disoriented to people because they're so accustomed to smooth animation. That's a big risk taker here. And I love that this movie was able to break the mold of your typical animated type of movies. Where, everything... Oh shit.
What
happened?
OBS is frozen for a bit. Give it a second.
Oh,
Okay.
no worries. Oh my goodness.
Oh, there we go. Now we're back.
Well done.
Okay. So trying to backtrack what I was talking about. Yeah, no, so this movie, okay, yeah, it broke the mold, stepping out of its comfort zone in trying something a little different. And I'm glad that they did that. They're working with more of style and not just, your usual shtick. If this movie was done in just pure CG, in terms of just all CG animation and not comic book style or not, a bit of hand-drawn work, things back and forth, it wouldn't have as much of I don't think it would have as much of an effect. I think it's the style that helps serve with the story. It's
Yeah, no, absolutely.
yeah. So I'm kind of jumping all over the place here, but the basic gist of it is this is definitely it's easily one of my favorite movies of all time. I normally don't think too much about superhero movies, but this one definitely hit a really, really good spot for a general audience. So, I'm glad that it took the risk taker here. So, I've already said my piece about it. Everybody else, I'm pretty sure you want to gush about this movie.
Science, I know, certainly wants to gush about the new one.
Okay.
No, I'm going to tell Sleepy to hold my beer for that one.
You hear that, Sleepy? You've got a competitor.
Ooh. Okay. So let me say this for the record. I am this energetic when it comes to podcasts. It's just that if you bring Spiderverse into this, oh,
I guess that's our trigger word.
That's the detonate button.
Yeah.
All you have to do is say Spider-Man around Sleepy. No,
Not just Spider-Man.
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse. Yeah, you say Spider-Verse, and she bounces off the walls.
Yeah.
Okay, I will make note of this whenever you are feeling.
This is
down.
why, again, let me just say this. I haven't mentioned this. Spider-Verse is one of the reasons why I wanted to get into animation.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I is excited for the next topic because hell yeah.
Okay. Flitter, Dusk, anything you guys want to share?
No, I think it's all been covered very, very succinctly.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
All right, next topic. Science, you have the floor.
Hold my beer.
Everybody, find a fox den. Find a foxhole.
Miguel fucking O'Hara, 2099 Spider-Man. Holy crap. The Spider-Man who beats the crap out of other Spider-Men.
Oh, wow.
That's gonna
the
be
guy
interesting.
is an edgy-ass nerd who figured, you know what? Nobody's gonna solve these problems in my time. I'm going to do it, and I'm gonna base my powers off my hero Spider-Man. And he does, except he's got no spider sense. He has no spidey sense. And he does not use web launchers. He has actual spinnerets in his wrists.
Holy hell!
The guy
That's gotta
has
be painful.
superhuman sight and hearing, and that's why you never see his eyes. If he ever took his glasses off, it would almost blind the guy. He is worthy of wielding Mjolnir. And he is a badass who basically has beaten the crap out of Peter Parker Spider-Man a couple times.
Yep.
He's like the edgy. He's like the edgy nerd Spider-Man. He's pretty awesome. And he's got a Cortana kind of sidekick named Lila, and she looks like Marilyn Monroe.
Nice.
Okay then.
It's awesome.
All right,
That's
so
wonderful.
should we
It's
re-release
gonna
the
be a good
Beast?
foil. I'm really intrigued to see how they bring him up to Miles.
Okay.
Because electricity is not going to really affect him because he can't short out web slingers because he doesn't have them.
Hmm.
All right, so should we unleash the Beast again?
Yes.
All right, Sleepy, go ahead.
All right, so this is releasing on October 7, 2022. If I'm correct.
Yes,
Am I correct?
it's coming out during
Okay.
Halloween.
You know what this means? This is literally 10 days before my birthday.
So it's an early birthday present to you.
Yes, sir. I am pumped. Like, did you? Okay, so in terms, because I'm an artist, and some of us are. Here's the thing. I love how there's like for Miles Morales, as soon as we see him like chilling, we get another sneak peek or another snippet of Post Malone and Sunflower. Post Malone featuring Sway Lee's Sunflower again, because they already know it's legendary kind of song. But what's another cool thing that I saw is that if you looked closely to one of the shots, you could see how some of the objects that are like levitating from, from the whole of the Spiderverse, you can see how there's like not only RGB effects, there's also like a little hint of sketchiness onto it. And that is like the coolest thing ever, because you would think that wouldn't be like, oh, that wouldn't happen in an animation anything. No, that would take too much work. Put everything in. Put everything in to the point where it feels like you're giving too much effort into your animation. And it's not even, here's the thing, it's not even like 2D animation. I mean, it kind of is because you have other characters, but even still, you even have this like really cool like sketchbook thing again. I forgot to mention that this one of the cool things I love this movie is that the little details, the attention to details. You see how basically how what was it? Miles Morales was so nervous to see Spider-Gwen again, and it feels like it's an eternity of not seeing her again. And it comes to the point where he misses her so much that he makes like a whole sketchbook, like not sketchbook. It was a sketchbook page, but it was like a whole page dedicated to Gwen. And you see like a cute little like doodle along with some, but that got memed around on Twitter, by the way. And you see like really cool experimental fonts on the name Gwen. And then you see Spider-Gwen saying, huh, miss you too. And it's so cute. Oh my god! And then you see what's cool about the animation department in terms of like how nervous Miles Morales was when she was one of the animators from Twitter. I forgot what name he goes by, but he said that he used like several referenced videos from like him basically recording himself as a reference, which is actually pretty cool. And I know people have done that too, like every single animation they come across, but it's so cool, especially with how much effort they put into Spiderverse. Not to mention, it's like, aw, like you see how like Spider-Gwen is just like, aw, is Spider-Man grounded? It's like, actually. You see like Miles Morales just like on second thought, actually. And then you see like really cool like neon effects, not to mention like sketched out
world
cities and a lot of languages and all this other stuff, not to mention the 2D animation. The 2D animation for Spider-Verse.
Oh God.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I cannot express to you how much I love this movie.
Oh, we're
in
getting an
the
idea,
most
dearie.
verbal way I can. But because of how aggressive I react to how much I love this movie, the most I could do is just throw stuff onto my room. But
We are getting a vague idea that you might enjoy this movie.
yes. But also, what was that one character? Was it Miguel?
Yeah, Miguel O'Hara.
Miguel Hara, yeah. Miguel Hara looks like a really good villain. I feel like there's gonna be a bigger snake on the way, or like a bigger animal on the way in terms of like villains. But I feel like he's not gonna be the biggest villain in the movie. But I feel like he's gonna be, at the very least, a very good written antagonist for Miles Morales. And it feels like it's giving like a competition for Miles Morales as Spider-Man. And I know, I'm sorry?
Oh, it will.
Oh, it will. But I feel like he won't be like the biggest bad man in all of the land. I feel like they're gonna bring back what's his name? I forgot now. It was like that one villain.
I think she had a brick wall.
Wait, which one was that one villain? Okay. You know what? We're just gonna call him Big Suit Man. We're just gonna call him Big Suit Man because I just
Nicolas Cage?
No,
not Nicolas
talking
Cage.
about
It
the
was
giant guy, the pin.
Kingpin?
Kingpin.
Yes, Kingpin.
Yes,
Thank you.
Kingpin. I feel like Kingpin would come back along with the other villains that have been going around from the last Spider-Verse movie. But I feel like he's just going to be an added bonus in terms of being like the actual antagonist for the whole thing. But yeah, I am super duper excited for this. I watched this trailer. You want to know how excited I was? I was like I was in a very bad, like sad boy hour like day, right? I made a bet to Riley that, hey, like I think Riley brought this up where he was like, hey, so they're gonna announce something for Spider-Verse, and it's like, it has to be a trailer. There's no way these people would just say, hey, Spider-Verse is just gonna come out and just not release a trailer. There's no way. And he was so unsure of it, knowing darn well that they would bring a trailer. And then when I saw the trailer with him, I was in tears. I was crying for at least 10 to 15 minutes when watching the trailer.
I could just imagine this as a silly TV ad, like, hey, young sleepy girl, are you depressed and having a bad day? Here's a sugar rush of Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse. It's like, yeah. No, I was already a big emotional mess at that time. Spider-Verse just makes me even more of an emotional mess because I cried. I even said, hey, can we watch the trailer again? Because I want to just process what the absolute heck I just watched.
Wow. I told you to hold my beer and you handed it back to me with a shot.
Again, I love this movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, besides Tangled and a couple of other animated films. But even still, not even Frozen is up on that level, okay? Don't give me that. But I am so excited for not only Spider-Verse, but also this releasing on the month of my birthday, and along with maybe more than a week of my birthday of it being released. And that makes me happy. So in conclusion, Spider-Verse, good.
Stellar review.
Yes. 5 to 7 out of 10.
Only 5 to
That's
7 out of 10?
In terms of like sarcastically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, Flitter, Dusk, do you guys have any insight you want to share?
Nothing which hasn't really been said.
Yeah, I think Sleepy and Science got this in their bag.
Yeah, no, they're just they are very good at hyping.
Yep.
10 out of 10. Well done.
Yep. We'll
I am
recommend
far
to a
more-
friend.
Absolutely. I'm very eager now to see what did you call him?
Kingpin?
No, not Kingpin.
Spider-Man
yeah.
2099?
Yeah,
29.
O'Hara, yeah. I am very eager to see what he brings and if he is going to be the villain or if he's going to end up being this villain, but they team up and then they become like they defeat
Good
the villain
boys.
together, sort of thing.
He's not really a villain. He's just a Spider-Man who believes that he should take everything on himself and he doesn't trust anybody else to do his job.
Right.
A
But-
good boy over trust issues.
Right, but here's the thing: that could make a very good villain, especially in this new age where villains are not actually just bad guys; they have a purpose, and the better
They
your
just wanna
villain,
be a
the better
good
the
boy.
purpose is.
Like,
Like, here's the
I
thing:
got it.
no real villain actually thinks they're the villain. Like, no one says, "Oh, I'm the bad guy. I'm going to do evil stuff." Very few people do that. They either
Yeah.
do not care enough, which is a problem in and of itself,
Yeah.
or they're doing it for the quote-unquote greater good sort of idea.
Basically.
In terms of
Which is
fiction.
Miguel. Which is
Right.
Miguel.
Right, so that would make him an excellent villain, and Miles would be his perfect foil.
Because friendship.
Yes, they're going with the friendship is magic option.
Into this
It's okay.
what was it?
just give him
Spiderverse
a-
friendship is magic.
Just give him a striped mane, and he can be the new Starlight.
Yes.
No,
You know, he can make his he can make his own OC. He can make his own OC, and his cutie mark will be the mark on his chest. And you know, his
Yeah.
special talent is basically climbing the walls like a spider.
There you go.
He would have to be. He would have to be anything but a Pegasus, though.
Yeah, I mean, he have to be an Earth pony.
Yeah, and in
That'd
order
be
to
really
have
cool,
this, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, because if you're a unicorn, it's just like it's not the same as like yes, you can make spider webs appear out of thin air like that. That's not as
Yeah.
impressive as an Earth pony swinging around. Can you imagine Big Mac swinging around?
Yeah, my boy.
The implied words right there. Good God.
Big Mac swinging around.
What?
I just
What?
imagine
What?
McDonald's.
Da-da-da-da-da. Big- yo. Also,
Oh,
I would love to see like McDonald's, but rebranding it to Pony Puns.
Well,
Of
they
course,
kind
the Big Mac.
I mean,
is Big
McDonald's used to have the pony toys.
The toys,
Yeah,
yeah.
when the show was still new. I still have that rarity.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we
Own
I bought
some
off
of them.
All right.
like I
so-
would like to see like a Starlight coffee or the Twilight Nuggets or
no. It's a
spicy-
McFlurry. It's a McFlurry.
Yeah.
I know that
Holy!
pun to be made.
You're making me hungry for some McFlurry. Oh my god, I hate it.
We
And
went
then-
from Spider-Man to Big Mac to gushing over the cardboard box place that I call McDonald's.
Yes. Well, guys, I need instead of I need a wrap, but the wrap is Discord, and you never know what goes into the wrap every
That's
single time.
adorable.
The Discord wrap.
That would be the
Uh,
mystery meat.
Okay. Okay. So on that note, are we
Pinkie Pie donuts.
are we ready to go to the Q&A?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Okay, I have the first Q&A. If you were a McDonald's item, what would you be?
Oh, okay. So apparently you guys want to ask questions and not just the chat.
Yes.
I mean, would we really want
No,
to be grinded into like?
No, like you know what I mean. Like if okay, even better. If you could make a McDonald's menu or item of your friends, what item would you make them? Like for Dusk, I would make her a type of McFlurry. I would make GoldenFox as like a very big Big Mac menu.
Oh
Science
dear.
Trail. Like we have something called in Norway called the Viking menu, which is literally like 3 burgers, 10 nuggets, a big soda, and 2 fries.
The whole meal.
Yes. Science would be like a wrap with 3 different sauce, a small donut, and a shake, or like a milkshake. And Sleepy would just be she would be the very very spicy nuggets, but no sauce and no sauce. But she would have like a normal Sunday ice cream with caramel and chili flakes.
Wait,
Caramel and chili
no. Okay,
That's different.
that is good. But also, if you put a little bit of buffalo sauce on it, that is the perfect combo right there.
On
That
the
is
Sunday?
me.
Yes, on the Sunday. So there you have an example. The rest of you, go. Let's start with Dusk. What do you want to make us?
Strong shake.
Yes.
I have no idea. I've never been to McDonald's, so
I think. Oh, we got a question from
Yep.
Magical Star Flash. In Spiderverse, who is your favorite Spider-Man and why? I think you guys would already know already. Peter B. Parker.
Mine is a mixture. It's a mixture of Penny Parker, because of course I would, and Miles Morales.
Wait, Penny Parker?
she's the little Japanese
the
girl.
mech girl.
I was about
Oh,
to say,
the
when
anime
did Peter
girl?
become trans?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, the anime girl. Honestly, I think Spider Noir just because I'm that type of dramatic person.
Oh hell yeah! I love the style they're going for, but that's about it in
Heck
regards.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Spider Noir, but the next movie is going to be Miguel O'Hara.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Spider Noir does have one of the best lines of the Spider people. Like his joke is like when he's using the Rubik's Cube, he's like, "So this is red, right?" Like, oh,
Oh, baby, no.
The dude is so accustomed to black and white that he's like, oh.
yeah, he doesn't know what color is, and just like, oh, and then he like takes it with him.
Yeah.
My favorite spider is the one from Fox Kids. I don't know what exactly to call them, but the old one from Fox Kids episodes, or it will be Tom Holland, because he's just made it so much weird fun.
Flitter,
and when-
Flitter, I think they were just referring to in the Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
Ah, okay.
But I will say, Tom Holland Spider-Man is awesome.
he is
Yeah.
adorable.
Like the first time I saw the mask doing the eye thing, I almost jumped out of my chair. I was just like, "Oh, my childhood dreams come true!" Ah! Like, because you have no idea how much I wanted those eyes to move to do something, and then he just like closes them more in, and I'm just like, "Oh!" And my dearest is just like, "What the heck happened?" And I'm just like, "He closed
He closed eyes.
like hold
closed
the
them eyes. It's a
hyperventilating."
miracle.
Like you have no idea. Like you're the tiny, super tired kid in the morning watching Spider-Man, and like everything is awesome and good until school starts. Right. So, you know.
All right. Okay, so anybody left out on the question?
Ooh,
Science, did you tell us? No, yeah, you said the next series is
It's gonna be Miguel O'Hara. Yeah.
Right. Dusk, you answered?
Yep.
Okay.
Noir.
Okay. I know that Sleepy already answered.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so moving on to the next question. Let's see. I forget, Golden, what does the diamond on your C forehead do again? I only showed that it's able to lift things, but there's going to be further detail on the magic lesson for Bliss and I.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's been in the works. That's been on
Foreshadowing.
that's been on the back burner for quite a while because, you know, she's such a busy bee. It's ridiculous.
She is.
But I will say this: upon
Pardon me.
writing the script, along with a few little modifications here and there, I'm absolutely confident that it's going to be fucking awesome. Like, it's going to be fun.
Language.
Excellent.
And it's also, like, we definitely threw in some humor in there. We definitely had fun with the script.
Yay.
So that's all I can say there. Derek the Brony asks, favorite AVGN episode so far? Not many people are gonna have an answer. Mine is always gonna be the Rob the Robot episode.
What's AVNG?
What, Flitter?
What AVGN?
That's Angry Video Game Nerd.
Yeah.
Not Safe.
Yeah.
I don't have one.
Okay, that's understandable. It would definitely not be your forte. You're too innocent for the nerd.
Yeah.
Majora's Mask.
Yeah, no, that one was great. If I had to pick a few others, I love the Earthbound review, and going far back to his much earlier works, I love the Super Mario Brothers 3 review, where the game turns into a fucking devil. Yeah, no, like, the nerd will go through so much shit and just make it entertaining. Okay. Zuckerman 1973 asks everybody, what holiday traditions do you guys have? Mine is incredibly vanilla, with the exception of getting up at like 5 or 6 a.m. in the morning to come downstairs and open presents. Anybody else? Go ahead. Sorry.
Mine is that I pour a glass of eggnog and put some brandy in it.
Nice.
And then I go outside and either look at the morning stars or I just stare at the snow and think about what I'm going to do for the next year.
Aww. That's such a sweet one.
I think that's a better way of doing things. That's a better way of going about it instead of New Year's resolutions.
Yeah. That's actually a lot of what they do in Japan.
It's
is
peaceful,
the day of.
It's quiet, and it puts your mind at ease.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, go ahead, Flitter.
No, it's just like holiday traditions like that, in like all the different holidays, or just
Well,
the
no, I
two
think
that's
they mean
coming up.
Yeah, I think they mean the ones that are coming up.
Oh,
Like for you, it would be Yule, right?
Yeah, Yule. Yule. Ska feira Yule. Yeah. Basically, that means I take some porridge, I put it in the barn, leave it for the Nisse, so that he can get some food and watch over the animals and the farm. Then I usually eat with my family, and we talk about what the year has been, and things that have been good, things that have not been not so good, things that we've been working on, things that we're proud of, things that we wish for each other. Then we have some coffee and cookies, and then we have presents. And then after the presents, we all talk about like what we got, and sometimes people post on Instagram or something. I don't know. My mother is into Instagram.
Some people do show off.
Yeah,
that's part of the fun.
Yeah. The day after the 25, we go to one branch of the family and have dinner and show some other give some other presents because they weren't there on Christmas Eve. The second day, which is the 26th, we do the same with the other side of the family. So first one is my father, and
didn't
then
you
it's
just
my
say the day after 25 though?
Yeah, because in Norway and a lot of other countries, we celebrate it the 24th.
Oh, okay.
It's also a different holiday than Christmas.
Okay, that's fair.
Even I was about to say the normies even celebrate the summer.
We love Twitter saying normies in this household.
Sorry.
The normies,
yeah. And then we have like a whole week where we go and visit other friends and exchange gifts or just spend time together. And then on Little New Year, we have dinner with whatever branch of the family we haven't been able to see. And New Year itself, when I was a kid at least, we used to go to one branch of the family again because I have a very big family, #farmer. Had a giant dinner, had some games, about one where we were supposed to have a toy hidden somewhere, doesn't matter where, inside or outside, and the one that finds the toy before New Year gets a very special prize, or what is equal to $100.
Wow.
A Christmas scavenger hunt?
No, like New Year's scavenger hunt. That's a New Year's scavenger hunt. And then, of course, it was all the fireworks. But The New Year stuff is now more that I celebrate either with just my dearest or with the Norwegian Brownie group and my dearest. And then it's just, food, talk about stuff, or watch My Little Pony episodes, and see if other people make firework things, because after learning what firework does to animals and the environment, we are just like,
Take it somewhere else.
we are okay. Yeah.
No,
so, we more.
That's completely
You have-
okay.
Ooh, you have like the small confetti cannons. Pew!
All right.
I have a lot. And that's not mentioning all the witchy stuff.
On New Year's, me and my family get together. We basically have beans and ham, and we sing Old Lang Syne.
Aw,
Ooh.
that's nice. Sleepy?
I think she passed out. I think she
Oh,
passed out.
I'm here. No
Okay.
worries. I was just looking some stuff. Here's I can't really say for certain what was it? I can't really say anything for like modern times for me in terms of celebrating traditional holidays. But I will say that especially for me, and especially when I was in the Philippines, Halloween is non-existent. Well, it is, but it's like it's a little spurt. It's like you get a little tidbit of it. The rest of the time, it's Christmas. Everyone literally,
Sorry.
almost everyone like doesn't know what Thanksgiving is, doesn't know what Halloween is. Well, some of them do, but that's beside the point. Like starting this September, almost everyone's like puts up like Christmas trees and stuff. They put out like ornaments and all this other stuff, and it's like it's not even December. It's like it's tradition. Anything like literally besides Halloween, everyone else is just like we're bringing back the ornaments. Like wait, isn't it? It's not even December. Wait, it's tradition.
We haven't had Halloween yet. We have Halloween before we have Christmas. That's the deal. Man.
That's today. November is Christmas.
Coworkers tell me.
It's like,
Yeah.
dude, we have Halloween because we're honoring our ancestors. And then you can honor money and gifts and family that are still living. Up to you.
Yeah. But in terms of like how I do things now, it's just I just sit here in my house and then just like do and just try to see if I can wish some ancestors of mine a very happy holidays and making sure that the next year would be a good year. And yeah. Oh, and also the usual spoiled brat thing where it's like I want to see what's inside the box.
Oh yeah. Oh, the Christmas gifts. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I tell a small story?
All right, go ahead.
Yes.
Okay. When I was exactly 4 years old, my brother was 6 years old. We one December because it was the day before Christmas Eve. And me and my brother woke up around 3 a.m., was creeping down the stairs because we were sleeping in the second store of the house. And we found the Christmas presents.
Stash.
Oh, no. You wouldn't imagine kids just like tearing them apart and start yelling and gushing and all of that. No. No. We were sneaky little gnomes.
Mission
and
Impossible.
Oh yeah.
Did you hide them?
No.
Oh.
We went into the closet and went into the hole in the wall in the closet with the gifts and opened them super carefully so that if you have a little bit of glue, you can make them wrapped nicely back up again afterwards. So we knew exactly what we had for Christmas that year.
You guys did like Ed, and Eddie jingle jangle on that thing.
This actually reminds me of something that my brother and I used to do before. Now I was a kid, I didn't know any better, but okay, so back when I was 8, my brother was 10. We snuck into a particular room we were not supposed to look in, that pretty much just shows what we were getting. Like I saw the toy, like I saw the things that I wanted. Like I saw like a walkie-talkie set, a thing of you remember Cool Tools?
Sounds vaguely familiar.
Okay, it was a toy. It was a series of toys where you could like put things together with like they had like screwdrivers and hammers and stuff like that.
Yeah, where you were like basically building your own, but it was like a set thing, and it would give you instructions like, "Oh, this is how you build a car," that sort of thing.
Yeah, like the Cool Tools race car. I thought that was really cool. That hey, you could build this together. So I thought that was a cool idea. I got so carried away that I was like, "You're getting me that for Christmas?" Like I opened my mouth and got both of us in trouble, so we didn't get it that year.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, shit."
Oops.
Yeah, because like
That's
my
when you
brother.
learn to tell secrets.
Yeah, no, my brother was like, "Brad, come on, why?" I was just too excited. That's all what it turned into. There was another time, fast forward a few years later, I was about 11 years old, so I knew better. My brother was like, do you think we could just take a look at the presents and kind of guess what it is? And not like sneak into the closet or anything like that. Like, I have a feeling
that was where they were!
Yeah. I was a dumb 8-year-old, but I was a smart 11-year-old who knew better this time. So we would guess things like, okay, so at that time, this was during the Pokemon craze, something I wanted to get, and I was glad that I got it. Kind of lost it over time. So you remember that there was the Pokédex organizer?
Oh,
That thing was so cool. So I was kind of hinting like, Brad, I can kind of feel this. I think this is the Pokédex organizer you wanted. Be quiet about it. Like he was firm. So I was like, okay, zip. Like we would look around at a few other things. So we kept it to ourselves, and then we were like, yes. So yeah.
Every single kid worth their salt has taken that small little bit of effort to go sneaking into the closet or sneaking into the hiding space to find the stash and try to find out exactly what they've gotten.
I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but to be honest, it was my brother's idea, and he didn't want to do it alone in case he got in trouble.
But you still did it anyway.
I joined him because, big brother, pretty strong, pretty intimidating. If you don't join me, I'm going to throw you down the stairs. Yeah, okay.
No.
Which makes you
Grove
an
letter.
accomplice.
Yes, but still.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I found out I got the thing I wanted for Christmas, and that's one of the few memories I have from my 4-year-old.
One of my big memories of Christmas was I was 11. My family had foregone doing everything Christmas because we were going to be going down to Mexico to see my grandma.
Aww.
My awesome grandma.
Yeah.
And we got to the airport and they canceled our flight.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Grandma!
So my sister and I are in the back seat crying our eyes out. My dad is so angry you could probably see the steam rising out of his ears. We get back home. My dad and mom tell my sister and I to go to sleep. When we woke up the next morning, there was a tiny ass little tree set up and presents.
Aww. He must have worked so hard for that.
We asked him, how is this possible? Nothing's set up. It's like, Santa has his ways, children.
Aww.
I'm gonna cry.
They literally probably didn't sleep. That was 12 hours. They did not sleep through the entire night and just busted ass.
That's some good parenting right there.
That's really impressive.
That is a heartwarming story.
Yeah, that's a heartwarming tale.
That is. All right. If anybody else doesn't have anything else left, we should move to the next question.
Yeah.
All right. So trying to backtrack here.
Magic Star Flash.
Yeah. What do you want to do in 2022?
Survive.
Yeah. Just have a good life, Okay, as far as if you're asking what our goals are and everything, I haven't really cemented everything down yet. I'm still taking care of like other priorities, like I'm trying to find a second job or trying to get a better paying job.
That's a goal then.
Tish.
That's a good point.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But that
Golden
is
opportunity.
Yep.
Oh, all the puns.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure that a lot of us don't really have much to say on that one. Go
You're
ahead.
asking a bunch of millennials to think about the future.
Oh, yeah.
Not a pleasant task for most of us.
I am aware
That's
that
more of a
sometimes.
personal question.
Yeah, that is a bit of a personal question. I mean, we're looking forward to the movies next year. But also, Key is sending
Go
me.
ahead, Golden.
I'm getting DM'd something. Oh, it's a picture of a dachshund puppy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can you show the dachshund puppy on the screen?
Hang on a second.
Yay! Thank you. Doggo!
Yep.
Also,
No, so I grew up with dachshunds when I was a kid. Yeah, dachshunds, like, don't underestimate them. Like, a lot of people make fun of they make fun of them because tee-hee-hee, wiener dogs, you know, stuff like that. But they have a hilarious sense of aggression, especially my latest pet, Charlotte. When she was a puppy, she would just like, she would nom on anything.
nom nom nom.
She would chew
Well,
anything.
They are nibblers and diggers.
I
Yeah,
am small,
Nom, nom,
but I
nom.
am mighty.
yeah, that's what it
I
turns
are
into.
fierce.
Yeah,
Hear
so
me!
we
I
would-
am tiny.
we would call it the chews. Oh, she's giving us the chews.
Yeah.
Nibbles.
So, let's see, what's the next question here? If y'all could swap lives with one person, what would it be for one day? No thank
No,
you.
thank you.
Yeah. Sorry, Star Raptor.
Nah, that would be more depression laced than anything else.
We
Yeah.
have seen enough comic books to know where this goes.
Yeah.
The switcheroo like,
Yeah.
I've already seen she talks to Angel,
Well-
and I'm like, oh my god. No.
No. You know what? Actually, yes. I think I would have switched places with my dearest, actually.
Aw.
Because I wonder how his brain works. Maybe I would have understood more of his brain.
That would actually be really interesting.
Yeah, and I think he would be interested in my chaos brain as well, because nothing ever works out, and I feel everything and anything at all the times, and he feel very little compared to me, apparently. So that would be very interesting. Yeah, yes, I would switch with my dearest for one day.
Yep.
I don't know that I'd switch with another person, but I would absolutely switch genders for a day. That would be fascinating.
So the question from Derek is asking if I played Metroid Dread yet. No, I haven't. I hope to. It's been on my radar on to-do list of playing it. There's just too many priorities involved at the moment.
Please, you should play Metroid Dread.
Oh, I absolutely would love to play that. You know me, I'm a huge fan of Metroid.
I know. That's why I was like needling you into like condescending submission where it's like, I want you to play Metroid Dread. It comes to the point where I feel like I'm probably annoying the heck out of Golden when mentioning Metroid Dread. Not even because of how
I'm not even
it's
annoyed.
apparently
I'm just
out.
like, yeah, I know. I still have yet to do it. So, all right. So we'll go with one more question, and then we'll start wrapping things up. That all depends. Whoever comes, whatever the question is, has its difficulty selection settings. I did hear that Metroid Dread is difficult or it's hard. I don't know how well that is going to compete much with Fusion. Because Fusion had some hard as hell bosses. Like, some of them were just annoying, like the security robot, the spider. I mean, some of you watched me play through that game before.
Yeah.
Also, probably a hot take here because everybody seems to like this one. I could not stand Ridley in Metroid Fusion. That screech it had was obnoxious.
Mm,
Yeah.
I thought of something.
Yeah.
Since you said you're going to play Metroid Dread, is it going to be like a stream thing?
Stream.
You know that my computer's not capable of doing that. If I had a better computer, yeah. I do have an alternative to work around that. And I think this is kind of re-answers the question for the goals for 2022. I'm going to aim for a different setup where I'm going to search for different kinds of components that are needed to build like an efficient computer. Like, I'm not looking for the ultimate one, because there's always going to be new products. There's always going to be new components to build in a custom computer. So in this case,
Get the ultimate one.
yeah, so in this case, whatever the components are to build this piece. And I also, like, Chrissy's got somebody who's very good at, like, instructing how to piece everything together. But despite all that, we're going to go by piece, like, one for, like, a graphics card, one for the computer tower, and, like, by that I mean, like, the shell, the fan, the cooling system, all those things. I'm just going to make those as separate goals, and I would set those as, like, new games and such. And that's the other thing. By testing a few other emulators out, and yes, I do say that, I am going to try to explore, like, other kinds of games out there. And some of them do work. Zuckerman, to answer your question on that, and on that note, I think that's the final question out there. Oh, actually, there's one before that that's also a really good question, so I'll save that one for last. I tried Broforce. It cut out the call. If I get a much better computer, that can change. So, fingers crossed. But yeah. But I'll attach, like, a milestone to them. Like, I'll play this game, I'll play that game. I still have yet to do the Minish Cap as a milestone from a while back.
Good game.
Yeah. Okay, so finally coming to the last question. And this, I think, is a really, really good one. So, MLP question. Oh, I misread it. Okay. But, you know what? I'll still ask the question anyway, and then I'll, like, reiterate what I thought the question was. So, anybody who has watched the Best Gift Ever, what moments did you guys like the most? I like the one with Rarity and the family. I forgot what it was.
The one where she gave the kid the hat and let him keep it?
Yeah, that one. The Acorn family.
I mean, mine is the obvious flutter cord thing, but also
Yeah.
pudding.
Cute.
Buddy.
Oh.
Pudding.
Mine
Yeah.
I love the
Spike
facial
Solo.
expressions in that show. Oh my gosh.
You were saying, Signs?
Mine Spike Solo.
The Spike Solo's okay.
Aw.
Like, it does end on a good note. It's like, okay, so aside from that, it was also my least favorite moment in the special because they brought back the whole Sparity Crush thing again. It's like, it's really
I
annoying.
know it's played to death, but it's nice. Give it that.
Oh no, the song itself is fine. It's just that plot point is so played to death, like so beaten to death, and it's also like it just felt backwards in his development. I thought that his, like, connections with Rarity was going to be more platonic, but then it went back to square one. I'm like,
Oh, it's been played to death like nothing else, but it was still nice.
okay, all right,
Also,
go ahead.
I gotta say, I do have trouble finding a favorite moment, but if I can choose a favorite creature, it will be the Winter Chilla because I love chinchillas.
Oh.
Okay then.
That's my answer. I'm sorry.
You know, just a quick question. Like, maybe it's just me. Do you guys think this was the best, like, Hearthswarming episode compared to everything else?
I still prefer the Snowfall Frost episode.
Oh, Hearthswarming Tale. Yeah, no, that one was really
like
good.
that one.
I love that they had their own spin on the Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
I might have to ask Aeon, but I think the 3 reindeer are based off of Norse mythology.
Which
Oh,
one are you
oldest-
referring to
You
now?
can ask
The
Twitter.
oldest
Hello?
sister sees the past, the middle sister sees the present, and the youngest sister sees the future. I think that's Norse mythology.
I think that's all mythologies because you have those in Greeks and
Yeah, you have those in Greek also.
Yeah, they have them in many. Yeah, they have them in many cultures over all of the world. So it's not necessarily. I don't remember anything specifically about 3 reindeers seeing past, present, and future, but I can check it up for you if you want to.
All right. Okay, so on that note, I think it's time I ask the one question in relation to Christmas. If you can name what was the best moment in terms of like a moment in terms of Christmas and opening gifts, what do you think was the best gift you've ever had?
I know what my most memorable one was, but it wasn't. Well, it wasn't even during winter. Actually, it was a Passover gift.
Okay.
And it's only memorable because it was dramatic.
Oh yeah, that's right, Dusk. You're Jewish, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, I got this gift because at Passover, if there's this thing. Anyway, you can sometimes get a gift at Passover.
Yay.
I think it was Hanukkah. It was when I was very young. Like I must have been 4 or 5 at the time. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but when we were younger, we had these tiny little china tea sets. Like the cups were like the size of your finger.
Yeah.
They were miniature. They were so cute, and I wanted one desperately. And my grandparents got me a nice. It was this beautiful set, and I was so excited. I was running to show my parents, and I tripped on their carpet, and they shattered.
No. Sadness.
Oh
I was so sad, and like they refused to get me another set.
Oh no!
That's even worse.
I was so sad.
Oh wow!
It's okay. I got cuddles.
Like that was a heartwarming story gone completely south.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Oh,
it must have been Hanukkah though, because I got like other presents, so like I cheered up. Like I do remember there was this other gift that like the same holiday that I got, and it was like a book, and you opened it, and it became like this little playhouse with stickers that you could use on that, and that was very new at the time.
Cool.
That's so creative.
Yeah, and it was this little old-timey house with a kitchen, and you were like playing with like the paper dolls who would actually stand up, and like you would play with them and put the stickers everywhere. Eventually I lost all the stickers, but I think I still have the book somewhere in my house.
Yay.
All right. Gotta clear my throat.
Drink some water.
Some water.
Drink some water.
All right, so anybody else they would like to share?
I have one, but this is from this year because it was so out of the blue. To be honest,
was it during the holidays?
It happened 4 days ago, but it is counting as a Christmas present.
Okay.
So, I mentioned before my Norwegian brownie group, correct? At least during this stream.
Okay.
Yeah.
They are a group of wholesome men and 2 girls. Adorable. Yeah. These, I don't know what to call them anymore because every time I talk about this, I get rip.
Awesome people.
Yes, they are very awesome people. If you have seen my tweet, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So, this adorable abundance of generous and kind snipper snooples decided about 4 months ago that, you know, Chris, she doesn't have a gaming computer. She doesn't have a computer that can do stuff. Let's see if we can do something about that. So, the 12th of 12, they took a recording camera after D&D session, and they're just like, "Hey, Chris, can you open this box for a friend of us?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, sure. Give the Viking the knife." And opened it. Opened it smoothly, and just like, wait, this is a computer mouse pad. This is a and like I completely broke down, and they're just like, "Yeah, Chris, congrats! Here's a gaming computer," and I'm just like, "What?"
Oh,
I just broke down in tears and shock, and I'm still in a bit of shock, to be honest. Like everything and anything at once. I was rolling on the floor and just like.
So you were like that N64 kid.
I don't know that kid, but I was basically just hyperventilating and couldn't believe myself, and they just literally had to hug me, so just like, "Chris, you need to calm down, breathe. This has been in the work for 4 or 5 months. Please don't die on us."
Yes, it is a gaming computer. Breathe in and out.
Yes. So I'm waiting on the screens. Because yes, I actually ordered myself 2 screens. I'm spoiling myself.
Nice. Yeah, go for the dual screens.
Absolutely.
Gonna be both practical and very nice. I'm I'm gonna take a proper picture when it's all put up. And we have a name for the Norwegian Ronin group, which is called the Bucket Clan. So of course my computer is gonna be called Bucky.
That's
Yay!
adorable.
Nice.
Yeah. And the best part is
Mhm.
after they had like helped me with the computer because I couldn't walk for like half an hour, they helped me with the computer in the car. I was just like, okay, so all I need to do is get myself some screens and a keyboard. They're just like, oh no, wait, we forgot the keyboard. And then one of them runs into the house and brings out the keyboard, and I see the box, and the box is showing the keyboard in a certain light, and it's rainbow.
Yes! Rainbows!
Yeah! So it can go up in rainbow colors, just like my computer mouse. And I'm just gonna say, hey, Bliss, you're half of my computer.
Okay. So we do need to speed things along because we have like less
sorry.
than. No, that's fine. You were enjoying your moment. I'm gonna go ahead and express my feelings on. I'll try to go through a speed run of moments that I like the most of Christmas gifts that I got. So, because like trying to narrow down to one, it's kind of hard. Let's see. I think the one that I could nail down to is, as cliche as it is, like this was I was a kid. The time I got an N64 with my brother, because we wanted an N64 for so long, and like, okay, it started off with the controller. Like, okay, we had a game. It's like, yeah, but we don't have the console yet. It's like, well, we'll save our Christmas money and get that. And then came the console itself, and we were like, yes! So, other moments that I thought were amazing for Christmas gifts, I got a laptop that got me into doing content creating. I had a drum set once, an electric drum set. Then that one was just like a big surprise, like, oh wow, I don't know what to do with this thing. And at a time when I had an obsession with jets, I had a box set that had like so many different kinds of planes, and I would use the underside of my bed as as like a hangar for all the warplanes. So yeah, that's kind of where I speed through everything. Anybody else?
My best Christmas gift, as cliche as this sounds, was probably my PS4.
Oh my god!
It was during a time in my life when I was working super hard and didn't have a lot of free time, and it provided me entertainment and relaxation when I needed it the most. My parents knew that, and that meant a lot during those days.
That's awesome.
Nice. All right.
Like, I didn't do internet stuff on that thing. I did it just as an attempt to escape from just daily toil. That meant a lot.
Escapes are very important, and it's also an important warning sign when you're trying to escape so much.
All right. So, Sleepy, do you have one?
I remember this is not even. I remember nowadays my parents do this for whatever reason. So I saw at the time I was so excited to get a Switch, right? And my parents knew that. To the point where they basically were like, "Hey, guess what? This is your Christmas gift for the year." And I'm just like, "You're missing the whole point of a Christmas. You're not supposed. We don't care. This is your gift now." It comes to the point where it's so like they're hyping this out to be like a really big present by the time it's Christmas. Like, guys, I already know. You literally spoiled it to me with no hesitation or warning. Y'all were like giving me this gift without any warning at all. Like, there wasn't even any anticipation or anything. But I was happy, though, that I got the Switch. It's just that particular moment is what they do nowadays. I remember one of the gifts that I had was a sweater. It was like a cute little yellow sweater. It has like, I think it was really cute embroidery.
And it was like, oh, actually, so I was a really big fan of Mary Poppins Returns. One of my step relatives, I think, they kind of knew that I was really, because I was hanging out with my younger cousin and his other friend, and so I was basically over there, like opening the presents and all that, getting gifts from parents as usual. And then one of this kid literally said, "Hey, we have a gift for you," and it's a Funko Pop of freaking Mary Poppins from Mary Poppins Returns.
Nice.
I wanted to just. Like, I was so touched. It was like, how did you know? Well, we kind of knew that you were into Mary Poppins Returns, and so we got you this. And it's like, oh, thank you. At one point, they even gave me, it wasn't a Christmas gift, but they did give me this, like, carnival-esque plushie of Harley Quinn that they had in their garage that they don't really need anymore. So they just gave it to me. Because I am spoiled brat.
I think we are all spoiled.
Yes.
We are, but that's part of the fun.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it there and wrap things up. So thank you guys for sticking around for this final podcast of this year. I do want to clarify because the chat was like, "Wait, is this the last podcast period?" No, this is the last one of this year. Apparently, I worded it badly on Twitch. But yeah, next month, or next year in this case, yeah, we are going to continue with the podcast. It's going to go on a monthly basis. I chose to go for a weekly basis here to put in a lot. It was for the sake of, like, filling in a lot of content for the holidays. You know, there's a whole thing behind that. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. This was a pretty fast-paced one. I do hope that these podcasts come out a little shorter than before, because sometimes, like, we go off on the deep ends and such, and
Really, a bunch of ADD kids go off on the deep end. Who would have guessed?
Yeah.
no, like, I'm talking about, like, well,
completely unforeseen.
There's also, like, times when I would make like, whatever topics there are, even by suggestion, that some people just don't have much of anything, and there's just, like, pockets of silence. I'm like, oof, what am I doing wrong here?
Nah, it's all good.
Yeah.
But
Just not everyone can contribute to every conversation.
Yeah, and it's kind of difficult to try to work with that. But I am gonna see what I can to be more flexible. Still focus on media, obviously. We're never gonna talk about politics and that shit.
No, that's too dangerous.
Yeah, it is. So with that said, hope you guys have a good Christmas, happy Hanukkah, and I'll see, like, podcast wise, I'll see you next year.
Happy holidays, everyone.
See
Yeah, next year.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Remember to brush your teeth.
Drink water.
And drink water.
Lots of water, yeah.